Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to the channel. On this channel, we help entrepreneurs and business owners get access to personal and business funding using our simple five-step process. We host these live streams every week, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. It helps our content get out to a wider audience. And we greatly appreciate the support. Oh man, so today we got a great one, man. We're gonna let some people get in here. We're gonna be talking about 3 reasons why you are getting denied consistently for funding. I've been getting a lot of people emailing, a lot of people sending DMs saying they can't get approved for certain vendor accounts, certain business credit cards, whatever the case may be. So tonight I wanted to kind of just break down 3 main reasons why you are getting denied for either business vendor credit or business capital, right? Business funding, like credit cards, lines of credit, term loan. So we're gonna break that down tonight. As you guys come into the chat, make sure you type in where you tapping in from, what city, what state, and we're gonna get into it, man. So let's kind of recap, right? So for those of you also, if you are interested in attending our next Business Funding Made Easy One Day Masterclass, the next event is this Saturday. It is this Saturday, July 23rd. Starts at 10 a.m. for general admission. VIP starts at 9 a.m. I do recommend VIP if you have questions about what we're covering tonight, or if you just have questions about getting funded. So VIP is $97. You just use code EZ at checkout and you'll save $50 off VIP. But the masterclass, we're gonna break this down in detail. Tonight we're gonna get into some good stuff. But if you come to the one day masterclass this Saturday, I promise you, you will not find another free masterclass that's gonna give you the game that I give you guys. So definitely make sure you tap in. Queens, New York in the building. Trey Foe, what's going on? What's happening, family? So let's kind of get into the topic for tonight, right? The top 3 reasons why you are getting denied for funding, right? And this is kind of something that is not common, but I'm seeing it be an issue a lot more recently, right? When I started this channel, ever since I've been putting out content, a lot of what I've been kind of stressing to you guys is to fix your personal credit and build your business credit profiles, right? But there's another piece to this that I don't think has been talked about, at least not on my channel, right? And that is your business needs to have some type of income. So the number one reason I personally feel that you are getting denied for funding, and it could be bank funding, it could be vendor credit, right? Is you have no revenue, you have no sales, you have no track record of sales. Now, some may argue that, hey, you can get a business credit card as long as you got a 700 credit score. You can go to Chase, Wells Fargo, Citi and get business credit cards, right? And I agree. Business credit cards are great. I love business credit cards. They're a great tool. But if you want the big money, right, and this is the $50,000 Wells Fargo lines of credit, the $20,000 Chase lines of credit, the $40,000 term loans, right? Where it's like 3-year repayments, lower interest rates, typically not merchant cash advance type funding. You have to show docs. You have to, family. I know you hear me talk about no doc. You hear a lot of gurus, a lot of internet people telling you no doc, no doc, no doc, right? And it's great to have no doc in your portfolio, right? There's tons of banks that do no doc funding, right? But here's the problem with no doc. And I'll speak to Truist specifically, right? Truist will do no doc business lines of credit if you have a relationship with them. So if you bank with Truist, you got about 700, 720 FICO on the Equifax. They pull Equifax exclusively. Truist will do no doc business lines of credit, right? They do no doc business credit cards. But here's the deal. It's only good for 3 years. So some may argue, well, you need about 18 months to flip it, right? If you're doing Turo, trucking, Airbnb, whatever the case. But here's the thing you have to realize is that at any given point, while you have that line of credit open, right? We're going into some what some may say is some turbulent, rocky times. At any given time during that 3 years, they can ask you for any type of financials, tax returns, bank statements, which typically, if you bank with them, they won't ask for bank statements, but they can ask you for tax returns. They can ask you for current, year to date profit and loss. These banks are not crazy. They're not just giving out money. Now, if you qualify for the funding, you can get the funding, right? You can get the funding if you qualify. So a lot of it is based on qualifications, but just keep in mind that banks like to see that you're making money so that they can lend you more money to grow your business. Okay. Now you do have startups, right? Shout out to my homie Be the Entrepreneur. She can help you with your business plans, right? So make sure y'all tap in with her, Be the Entrepreneur on Instagram. She can help you with a written business plan. Here's the problem with a business plan. And again, this is the number one reason that I am personally seeing why most people, if you're watching this and you're saying to yourself, I've been denied for funding, this is the number one reason why. You have no revenue. I typically would tell someone who's a sole proprietor, if you're a sole proprietor, file a DBA and then just name your LLC that DBA. Because what you're doing is, let's say you've been doing hair, you've been baking cakes as a sole proprietor, right? You've been baking cakes or making cupcakes, and you've been just selling them on the side of the road, barbershops, whatever the case. Even though you never formed the LLC, that's still sales history. That's a track record, right? That helps versus someone who's brand new. You wrote a hell of a business plan. It's 8 pages. You got pretty pictures. You got all the projections. Projections are just not real numbers. They're projections. They're a hope or maybe a wish. It's not real numbers. Now, there are banks that take business plans, right? There are a lot of community development financial institutions, CDFIs. You have SBA Express loans, right? So there are programs where a business plan can help you get funding. But here's the problem. If you use a business plan and you're basically saying, I don't have any revenue yet, you're a startup, then you're at the mercy of credit. You're at the mercy of credit. Credit is going to weigh heavily into that decision. I've seen this happen with, different people. Credit will weigh heavily into that decision. Now, the argument can also be made that credit is going to play a role in any type of funding. I disagree, but I don't necessarily disagree with a hard stance. I just think that whether you have good credit, personal credit, good business credit, you just got to pick your struggle and just ride whatever horse. If you're going to go down the no PG route, just ride it out until you can't no more. Then go back and fix your credit. Do what you can on the personal side, the business credit side, and then go back and fix your personal credit, right? Or vice versa. Start with cleaning up your personal credit, go get 100,000 in personal credit, and then go get 100,000 in business credit. It's kind of like you just got to pick your choice, right? You just got to choose which route you want to take. But either way, as long as you get to the destination, that's all that matters. Now, I say all that to say, when you don't have revenue, when you don't have sales, when you don't have customers, it makes the banks a little nervous. It makes them a little nervous because now you're saying that, hey, I need 50,000 and here's my plan to pay you back, but the plan hasn't been executed. These sales are just projections. This is just a hope. This is a maybe we'll make this, maybe not, based on your industry. Right. I'm not a huge fan of business plans, although they do work for funding purposes, right? For funding purposes, business plans are great. They're a great tool. But overall, I would not rely on a business plan if you plan on having a successful business. I do think you need, foundational pieces, your organizational chart, your core offering, right? Whatever that core product that you sell. or that core service that you sell, you do want to have some type of core product that you've already sold in the marketplace. And then you could take a business plan to a bank to hire more staff to implement, right? That's a great use of a business plan. Now, again, holler at my homie Brandy, be the entrepreneur. She'll hook you up with a business plan. But the number one reason, family, I personally feel in 2022, if you're not where you want to be as far as your goals for funding, you have no revenue. Now, a lot of people say business credit cards. I'm not disagreeing with that. But you do want to start to get the big money. You want to get those $20,000, $50,000 lines of credit, those business lines of credit, because that's literally like you're writing a check and putting it in your business bank account. Okay. Versus a credit card where there's a swipe. The swipes are not bad, but it's just harder to liquidate, right? You can do manufacturer spending and all of that. But you're still at the mercy of a swipe. Whereas with a business line of credit, you just pretty much write a check or pull the money off the line of credit. It's right in your account. You go buy real estate, go buy your car for Turo, whatever the case may be. But that's the number one reason, honestly, family, that you are not getting the approvals that you probably are seeking. So if you're just coming into the live stream, make sure you text the letters EZ to 980-825-4360. Text the words EZ to 980-825-4360. Check out our next one-day business funding made easy masterclass where we kind of break down step by step, literally the blueprint on how to get your first $100,000 or your next $100,000 in business funding. All right, so that's number one. No revenue. Okay. And y'all tap in the chat. Have you guys been seeing more approvals on business credit or more denials? I know a lot of you guys every week, we tap in, I always ask who's got approvals because literally that's the goal that I personally set forth. I want the most approvals. So type in the chat what your approvals are, how much, where you got approved from, and let me know, is revenue holding you back? Is revenue the reason why you are not getting the amounts of funding that you're seeking? Okay. Is the bank telling you need more revenue, you need tax returns, whatever the case may be? And that's a great reason why. That's just a side note. That's one of the beauties of the credit unions is that even though they ask for tax returns, it could be personal, it could be business. So you just got to give them something, but they'll usually give you that $15,000, $20,000, startup capital. But yeah, so number one reason is no revenue. All right. Number two, family, no relationship. You don't bank with the bank. You don't bank with them, right? The relationship piece is going to be very, very critical. And I'll show you how to actually structure this relationship with these banks when you come to the masterclass. For those of you in the chat, if you've been to the masterclass, please, give your opinion on the content or just the overall the game that we give, whether it's VIP or the free admission, right? You guys let me know in the chat. I know I see a couple of guys, my guy Rev, I know he's been to the masterclass before, but you have to understand that bank relationships play a role in all of this, right? Even though this credit card, this First Horizon card, right, even though it's only $6,000, it came at a time when my personal Equifax was around a 665, 670. So while most people would say, well, you talk about these Amexes you got, and you got these BP MasterCards and lines of credit, Divvy, whatever, that personal credit card there, I champion the most because that's the way that you have to do it now, right? You have to build relationships, right? When I was doing my wholesale thing, I was closing deals. I had money in the account, and I was still able to get approved even with challenged credit. So the relationship is just like a marriage, right? They know you, you know them. Even if you don't necessarily have the perfect credit score, you can still get something. You can get something, right? It's not so much that, we just going to go to one bank. We're going to get $6,000 from 5 banks. That's $30,000. Okay. Truist, they do a great job of lending to small businesses, right? A lot of you guys reach out, hey, what banks do I hit up, whatever. And I'm gonna keep saying Truist because literally they're giving out funding, right? They was giving out funding in COVID, they were giving out funding before COVID. It's one of them things where it's like if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? But you need the relationship. You need to have multiple business banking accounts, right? And you need to have multiple banking relationships. Bank with Capital One, bank with TD, bank with Truist. Don't get married with one bank, right? PNC is great. Trying to think of some other ones, right? But they're the main thing to be focused on if you are getting denied for funding is establish a relationship. Establish a relationship, okay? Go in the bank, meet with the banker, have a conversation, open up a business checking account. Always put about 200, 250 in the account, no less than that. But just start to ask questions, right? And that's where for the handouts, for those of you who do come to the masterclass for VIP, we do give you the handouts. We give you the bank scripts on what you should be asking the banks when you're calling, what you should be, how the conversation should go. But that's a question you can ask the bank. Hey, right now I'm working on my personal credit. I'm trying to get it intact. Is there any opportunities for funding for me? Right? 9 times out of 10, if you got the right amount of money in the business account and you're not in necessarily a high risk industry, credit repair, trucking, whatever the case, I personally feel you could get some type of funding. Now, will it be 100K from a Wells Fargo? Maybe not. Okay. Wells Fargo is pretty picky on who they lend to. So you got to have optimized personal credit. We just got somebody else got approved for a $15,000 business credit card at Wells, right? So Wells has been good towards the last month and a half. That could change. We just don't know. Even with the vendors, right? Synchrony Bank, right? If you get one Synchrony account, so let's say you get Sam's Club. Let's say you get Sam's Club for 8K, right? You could then go back and for another business, get Amazon Net 55, right? When they had it available. You could then get the JCPenney account with Synchrony Bank, right? You have the relationship. They know who you are. They at least have your business name, the business EIN, and the DUNS number. So if nothing else, you're already in their system, right? On the back office. Relationships, right? The more banks that you have relationships with, the easier it becomes to get funded, right? I've told you guys about, the BP MasterCard, right? That was my third business credit approval on my journey. I had NAV first. NAV was my first trade line. Quill was number 2. BP MasterCard was number 3. Yep. So I've had that BP MasterCard pretty much my entire business credit journey. Okay. Going on 4 years. So I say all that to say I've had a good relationship with the BP MasterCard. So it's easy for them to see my account, see that I'm good for paying them back, right? So this is the unsecured version, right? But I also had to take care of the secured card, right? The one that was only locked in gas stations, vehicles, and maintenance. Relationships, okay? Relationships. It all boils down to that because you have to understand if banks don't know you, they can't flow you, right? Shout out to the homie Uncle G. But it just makes sense. It just makes sense, right? If they don't know you, if they don't know your deposits, they don't know how much money you bringing in. It makes it a lot easier, right? When they can see the deposits, when they can see you got money in the bank account, like in the instance with First Horizon, it's just a lot easier for them to lend to you, even if you don't have the perfect credit score. I've been able to get funded with bad credit. I've been able to get funded with good credit. It's a lot easier to get funded with good credit, but it's not impossible with bad credit. So if you're watching this and you're like, my credit, I don't know, talk to the banker. Talk to the banker. You'll be surprised some of the conversations I'm having with banks now. Credit is not the number one issue, and we talk about this extensively at the masterclass. So if you need help, right, make sure you text EZ to 980-825-4360, and make sure you register for our next business funding one day easy masterclass. It goes down July 23rd, family. So just beware of that, okay? Relationships. That's number two. That's the number two reason why you're not getting approved for funding. All right. Any questions? Anybody agree, disagree? What we doing? Let's go through some of these approvals real quick, man, because I like to show receipts. My guy Santana in the building said Capital One Venture X 20K, Amazon Platinum, Amex Platinum Personal 30K, Business Amex Gold 10K, Plum 10K, Lowe's 10K. Woo! The Business Masterclass is a must. Shout out to the fam. Yeah, man. Santana gonna be in the building, man. It's really like a family reunion. If you come VIP, it's really like a family reunion, man. We just kick it, we just talk game, talk shop, put strategy, whatever the case. My guy Rev in the building. What's happening, my brother? Good seeing you down there in Florida, man. Even though it was under challenging circumstances. But Rev said I got Verizon Business MasterCard 15K. There you go. 15K on a Verizon Business Credit Card. I like it. Here we go. Jennifer said BP MasterCard about 3 weeks ago, 10K. Boom. There you go. So, and these people have relationships, right? You have to have relationships. You have to have revenue. If you don't have revenue, it's not the end of the world. But if you want the big money, focus on your sales. Because ultimately you have to show some type of, year over year track record of sales. Earl Bridges said recently got 15K business credit card and 20K business line of credit from Wells. So that's 35K right there. Boom, from one bank, 35K, 15K business credit card, 20K business line of credit. Shout out to Earl. Shout out to my guy. Got a 5K approval, Capital One Spark. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you start to see people who come to these live streams weekly, people who have attended the masterclass. Everybody who I put up here has attended the masterclass. It's probably a good idea that you join the masterclass, but I'll leave that up to you guys. It's a vibe says my personal credit down right now, but I want to do the Bank of America car loan. Any ideas to go about it? I would do a credit partner. It's a vibe. I would do a credit partner. If you're looking to do Turo, maybe now is not the best time to do that. But I would do a credit partner. It's a vibe. That's what I would do. But shout out to everybody who got the approvals, man. I just got hit with a Stripe. Stripe gave me a offer for funding. I'll probably do a video on that. But yeah, the banks are lending. That's one thing I can say. So number 3, last one, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Last one. So number 1, we said the number 1 reason why you get denied is you don't have revenue, right? You don't have the revenue, which is normal if you're a startup. Don't feel bad if you don't have revenue. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is there are banks that will lend to you with the right business plan. You just got to find the people that can help you write the business plan. Grants are good. They just take a long time. Grants are great. They just take a long time, unfortunately. And it's no guarantee that you'll get a grant. You got hundreds of thousands of people applying for grants every single day, every year. It's very, very competitive. And grant writers are not cheap. So, it is what it is. So number 1, you have no revenue. Number 2, you have no relationship. They don't know you. They don't know your deposits. They don't know what type of business industry you're in. So you need the relationship, you need the revenue. And then number 3, you don't have your business profile established. Remember, some banks do look at the business credit profile. TD Bank, just talked to them last week. They look at business, personal experience and business experience. The SPSS score. We deep dive into that at the masterclass. The SPSS score. You need to know this. That's why I tell you, when you get the NAV boost plan, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to know the SPSS score. The only way that you can get the SPSS score is if you get the NAV business loan builder plan. You have to get the loan builder plan. So you just have to, you have to know that SPSS score. Now, if you don't want to spend the extra $10 to 49, that's cool. But just understand that, when you apply with certain banks and they pull that business experience and that that personal experience, that business experience, a lot of you saw that with the SBA loans back in 2020. They pulled that personal Equifax, that SPSS score is a blended blended experience, personal and business score, right? I bet your guru don't tell you that. He's gonna tell you about these platinum cards. He's gonna tell you about all these different credit cards. But when you're trying to get the big money, they look at that SPSS score, and that is a FICO generated score. That is a FICO algorithm. So SPSS comes into play. Same thing with Wells Fargo. The Wells Fargo play. They look at the business profile. They look at business Equifax and personal experience. So you have to have your business profile established. Right now, you can go to 80 Paydays cheat sheet route. Right, we show you guys at the masterclass how to actually build your business credit profile in 45 days or less. It doesn't take 90 days to build business credit. It does not take 90 days to build business credit. It could take 90 years if you don't do it right, but it don't take 90 days. Okay. A lot of y'all gurus too, man. Stop teaching the NAV hack halfway. Stop doing that. I think I'm gonna have to get that video back popping, man. Because a lot of y'all telling people to get 2 monthly plans for NAV. That's not how the NAV hack works. I hate using hack. I'm not a fan of the word hack, but it is what it is. But to all you gurus, if you're teaching business credit, if you're talking about the 2 NAV account hack, so to speak, just teach it right. Stop lying to the people so you can get them affiliate hits. But you need the profile. You need the business profile. You need 3 on DMB, you need 2 on Experian, and you need at least 1 on Equifax. I'm probably going to say 2. You need at least 1, probably 2. Okay. So that's that. And that's pretty much the main 3 reasons I've personally seen why you're getting denied, right? Either you don't have revenue, right? That's number 1. Number 1, you don't have revenue. Number 2, you don't have a relationship. And number 3 is you don't have the profile established, right? You don't have the business profile established. You're still trying to establish the business profile. And it doesn't take 90 days to build business credit. It does not take 90 days, family. Trust me. I've done it in as little as 30 to 45 days. Okay. But other than that, I hope this was valuable. I hope to see each and every one of you at the masterclass. If you're coming general admission, we'll see you in the Facebook group. If you are coming VIP, we'll be there for the family reunion. If you have not registered yet for the masterclass, make sure you text the letters EZ. Text the letters EZ to 980-825-4360 to get registered for the event. General admission, again, starts at 10 a.m. The recording will be left up in the Facebook group for 48 hours. So for those of you who need the recording, just hop in the Facebook group. It'll be left up for 48 hours inside the Facebook group. Also, for those of you, if you're watching this on the replay on the YouTube channel, and you are for sure that you're ready to take the next step to get funding for your business, if you would like our team to help you get access to funding without walking in the bank, without showing tax returns or bank statements, and without paying for credit repair, text the letters CBCA to 980-825-4360. I'll put it up on the screen, right? And we will set you up with a call so that we can discuss how our team can help you get funding. So if If you're looking for one-on-one help to get access to funding, so if you're looking to get your first or your next $100,000 in funding without walking in the bank, without showing tax returns or bank statements, and without having to pay for credit repair, text the letter CBCA to 980-825-4360, and we'll hop on a call and we'll kind of figure out how our team can help you get access to funding to help you move forward in your business or just get unstuck, right? Sometimes you just need somebody, an extra set of eyes, somebody to kind of guide you through the process. So that's where we can kind of help you guys. So if I can help you on a one-on-one tip, or if you come to the masterclass, either way, family, it's time. It's go time, right? These approvals that you see in these in the chat, these are not fake. These are not scripted. I did not pay Santana any money, even though that's my dog. I definitely owe him. I owe you. I definitely owe you a steak dinner, my brother. Whenever I tap in, whenever you come back to the Carolinas, or when we tap in around your way, we definitely got to chop it up. But I don't pay for receipts, and the reason being why I always like to ask you guys about approvals is because some people it's their first approval. Some people is consistently getting approved. So whether you're new, whether you're just getting started, or you've got a couple of approvals and you kind of hit a snag in the road, we can help you guys. Just text the letters CBCA to 980-825-4360 if you're looking for more exclusive one-on-one help. But other than that, family, I am going to chop it up. As you can see, the walls are kind of bare behind me. We in the process of moving out, so just packing up stuff and getting ready to move. Any questions, man, before we get out of here, man? Who's coming to the masterclass? I want to know. I want to know. Are you pulling up? Are you pulling up to the masterclass Saturday? God, I can't even talk. July 23rd. Sister Shy, what's going on? Sister Shy said, I worked so hard to get Brex. What's your comments on Brex shutting us down? Think other fintechs will follow in light of the recession. I don't know if they're shutting them down. They just more focus on startups, like tech startups, which was always their focus, Sister Shy. Brex has always been about the tech startups. I want to say the headquarters is in Silicon Valley. So for me personally, I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing because you got fintechs coming out every single week. I'm getting hit up from different fintechs. You still got Topago, you still got ClearCard. I wouldn't worry too much about Brex because there's other options. And then you got bank funding. So I wouldn't do that. My brother Red said, put me down. Yeah, man, I got you, brother. As soon as I hit the town, man, you know, I'm one way, man. So we'll definitely connect, man. I'm definitely looking to get back to South Florida, man, sooner rather than later. Let's see. Hairology Academy said, where's the masterclass? So there's two options. So if you do the general admission, then you will just put your name and email in the link, and then you will get access to the Facebook group. So if you're doing general admission, it will be streamed inside the Facebook group at 10 a.m. If you're doing VIP, then you will get an email with the actual Zoom link. Now, the beauty of the VIP is that you actually get 2 extra hours. So you get an hour before the masterclass, you get an hour of Q&A after the masterclass. So you get 2 extra hours of Q&A. And as we go along throughout the presentation, you can come on mute, ask your questions. So you can literally ask questions as we go along. Whereas in the Facebook group, you know, I kind of catch them as I'm teaching. So, but to answer your question, the masterclass is a virtual event. Just go to, if you just text the letters EZ to 980-825-4360, Hairology, that'll get you where you need to go. And I hope to see you there. Thanks, Rico says, me and my cousin started a new business. Her credit is better than mine. How much of the company should she own? I would probably say 95.5. I would banks, Rico, I would make you 5%, and then I would make your cousin 95%. That way, when she's filling out the business credit card applications or whatever case may be, they'll just use her personal credit only. They won't even ask for your personal credit. Now anything over 20%, they will ask for both of you guys' credit banks. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm just going through the chat, guys, because I know we're finna wrap this thing up. Also, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. A lot of y'all watching these videos, y'all not subscribing, man. Show your boy some love. Subscribe to the channel, man. What's going on? Like the videos. Like the videos if you like it, if it's good content, man. Try not to be fluff. You know, your gurus, they gonna lie to you, man. Ain't no lies over here. Earl Bridges said, I had a charge off with BB&T 10 years ago. I received a solicitation from Truist to apply for a business credit card. Should I bother? Truist is very unforgiving, man. I personally, Earl Banks, God almighty, sorry about that. Earl Bridges, I personally would have to get more information on your situation. But if it's a charge off and it was 10 years ago, chances are they probably forgot about it. But some of these banks are petty. Like if that was Chase, I would say don't even trip. Just charge it to the game. Because Chase, once you screw them, can't go back. With BB&T, I don't know. Truist, I don't know. I would personally, what I would do, I would go on their website and see if you pre-qualify for any of the personal cards. 9 times out of 10, if you pre-qualify for any of the personal cards, you can get a business credit card with Truist. It's not a guarantee, but 9 times out of 10. Like if you just got that $15K approval from Wells and that $20K business line of credit, I believe that was you, Earl. But with Truist, they value the relationship. So I would say at least open up a business checking account. But if you were able to get $35K from Wells Fargo, I don't think you will have a problem getting any amount of funding from Truist. But what I would say, Earl, is if you are coming to the masterclass, let's kind of deep dive into that, because Truist is good, but I personally would probably recommend another bank. So yeah, so if you 830 FICO, see, credit doesn't necessarily factor in with relationship. Now, if the SPSS is over 200, I would say TD Bank, Earl. I would go to TD. That would be my next stop. I wouldn't even mess around with Truist without a relationship. Okay, say I'll be in attendance. Yeah, so let's chop it up and kind of figure out what the situation is with the charge off, how much, the amount. Did you clean up the personal credit? I mean, obviously it's not on your personal credit. But it still could be internally something. But I would say for you, looking at your scores, I personally would just go straight to TD if they're in your area. If not TD Bank, I would go to Citizens Bank. Either one. Both do 50K up to 100K. But yeah, fam, make sure you register for the next one-day masterclass, man. If you're not in the building, shame on you. Make sure you use the code EZ to get $50 off VIP. It's $97. Hopefully, I get to chop it up with you guys at the masterclass. It is this Saturday, June. Lord have mercy, July 23rd. And as always, family, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, and we will see you guys on the next one-day Business Funding Made Easy masterclass. All right, fam. I'm out of here. I'll holler at y'all. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. All right. I'm out of here. Peace.